We're in the holiday season. How is it for you? Are you actually experiencing the duty of it? Or are you dreading it? Or are you delighted by it? And how do the people in your life help you create that duty, dread, or delight? And if you're with a toxic person, what can you expect? And what can you do? And what's in your power? That's what we're going to discuss today. So stay tuned. Welcome to Save Your Sanity, help for handling hijackals, those difficult, toxic, and often disturbing people in your life. I'm Dr. Rhoberta Shaler, the Relationship Help Doctor, and I'm here for you. You'll get the insights, skills, strategies, and support to stop tolerating verbal and emotional abuse, whether it's happening now or it happened to you in the past, maybe by a parent, partner, ex, relative, or even a coworker. Time to take life back, to recover and to rediscover you, your values, dreams, desires, and realize them in healthy ways in healthy relationships. I'm so glad you're here. Happy holidays! Or is it? Are you super stressed or super stoked? What's actually going on? What's causing that? Is it coming from within? Or are you petrified about what's going to happen, or what might not happen, or who happens? All of these things come into play when we live with families, when we live, particularly when we live with toxic, difficult people. So my big question for you today, and I hope to give you some answers, is, are the holidays duty, dread, or delight for you? Because big family holidays and celebrations tend to bring into focus the way we really feel. And that might be duty, dread, or delight. We focus on these insights, I hope, to get the clarity you need to make these holidays the best yet. But how is it for you really? Do you look forward to joining with your family and delighting in this celebration? Or is it an obligation and duty that has you dragging yourself there? Well, if it's a blessing to have a wonderful, giving family, which it surely is, one where there's an abundance of love and generosity, openness and support, great. That's wonderful. But for some people, that's not the case. Sometimes the holidays are more duty than delight. And relationship help in those cases is something that you need to look for. So that's what I'm trying to offer you today. And there really isn't much thanks to be given if you're smiling through gritted teeth and sitting on tenterhooks waiting for someone to ask a question that's really none of their business, right? If you are already dreading meeting somebody, or there's somebody in your family who makes it their business to make people uncomfortable. You know, it makes me uncomfortable just thinking about the many times in my childhood that I had to face people that I didn't want to, that I was afraid of, or that I knew would hurt me, particularly with their words. But on the other hand, joining together with people you love and care about naturally makes you want to give thanks and celebrate well, brings out the joy, brings out the generosity, brings out that feeling of delight, and that's a big deal. So if you have a toxic person in your life, here's a big caveat. Toxic people, the hijackals, they have to have power and control in every situation. And so it is very, very usual for them to ruin the holidays or ruin a celebration of any kind, a graduation, an anniversary, a birthday, or any holiday at all, because they need that attention. So whether they ruin it by threatening to attend or threatening not to attend or trying to get you to attend or not to attend or whatever they're doing, I hope you will lower your expectations of them this Christmas or this Hanukkah or this Kwanzaa or whatever you happen to be celebrating, and just say, all right, that's the way they are. This is what they're likely to do. Let me not engage in having hope they're going to be different. They're not. So lower your expectations and make some decisions yourself. But on the whole, I want to give you 3 big ideas today that can help you within yourself to feel like you have really consciously come to the holidays. So whichever way it is, duty, dread, or delight, there's something that you can do. So the first thing is to know that you have a right. You know, you don't have to go anywhere now because you're an adult. So it's your right to make your own decisions and place yourself in safe places where there's no need for anxiety. So if you're feeling like I have to go, ask yourself, do I? Really, I'm an adult. If it doesn't feel safe, why would I go there? Might be a new thought. Where one difficulty arises, though, is that you want your family to work, to be functional and loving and supportive. And so you go year after year. And you hope it will be different. You want them to accept you as you are right this minute, not how you were 10 years ago and be still being held beholden to something you did or said or didn't do or said or weren't. You want to be seen for who you are now. And you want to be respected for living in integrity with your own values and vision and beliefs and purpose. You want people to see you. You want to be seen as an individual and to be respected for the individual you are. And you want people to be interested in you and supportive of you, right? I mean, wouldn't that be wonderful if everybody was interested in you and supported in you, and every relationship that you had in your life had the 3 qualities that I believe a healthy relationship requires: equality, reciprocity, and mutuality? Yes, let's be interested in each other and supportive of each other. You want that. And you want to feel safe. You want to feel safe where no one is attacking you with their expectations of your life, right? That's just not fair. That's just not on at all. And yet in some families, it's very common. And let me say that again. You want to feel safe with no one attacking you with their expectations for your life. But that may happen, but only if all those folks have an epiphany, an awakening that will help them see that the only life they have to live is their own and not yours, so they can back off. So if you're really hoping that things will be different this year and people will be different and they'll be accepting and they'll be respecting and they'll be interested and supportive and you'll be safe, maybe you want to look at those expectations. Those other people may or may not have changed. They may or may not be willing to look at you differently. Do you want to place yourself in that environment? So remember, you have a right to put yourself where you feel you are safe. And that may involve having that wonderful new acronym. We all know that acronym now, I think, FOMO, which causes us to go to all kinds of things because we have the fear of missing out. But the new one that I absolutely love is JOMO, the joy of missing out. And some celebrations with some families are joyful to miss out on, right? Especially if you have a hijackal in tow. So the number 1 idea I want to share with you today is you have a right. The number 2 is you have an opportunity. You can be different with them. That's what you want from them, so why don't you start? You can be different with them. Because when one person in a system changes, the system changes. And it might be slow, but it can happen. And of course, there's always the chance that the system will not change for the better. We have to keep that in mind. Sometimes we think change is always for the better, but often it's not. And some people are very entrenched in their ways, secure in their beliefs that they know the truth for themselves and everyone else too. And they're just itching to share that truth with you and to show you why their truth is a little more true than yours. Know one of those? Maybe a good person to avoid, or at least just to listen to and not take in what they're saying. You know, I have a big pet peeve. I think I've talked about it before. And people who use this term, that is my pet peeve, they think it excuses their rudeness and their intrusions and their judgment. And this term, I'd love to see it taken out of our lexicon, is brutal honesty. In my opinion, that's simply an excuse to unleash their mouths and unleash them in an unfiltered way, and then justify it by saying, it's for your own good, or somebody had to tell you. Now, that's just completely unnecessary. Please don't be one of them. And now back to our regular programming. We're not talking about my pet peeve. But what the ego hates is a boundary. It loathes it and rises up screaming when a boundary is expressed, and the ego gets especially vicious when a boundary is maintained. So your opportunity is to clarify your boundaries and learn to express them in ways that are totally kind and totally honest at the same time. And your opportunity, because we're talking about opportunities in this part, your opportunity is to know yourself so well and have skills you can depend on so that you can simply say what is so for you, and you can say how you prefer to be treated. Now note that you say nothing about them, those other people. You just deliver your preferences in a matter-of-fact way, in a just want to share this with you manner. And then you shore it up with your behavior. And if nobody's taking any note and not being respectful, then you may have to add some consequences. And that's boundary setting at its best. I wrote a blog about this. It's called Boundaryitis. So you can go to transformingrelationship.com and click on blog, and you can find it there. Just do a search. Boundaryitis. Many people have it. They're allergic to boundaries. So remember, the way you choose to deliver your boundaries needs to be in keeping with who you are. If you're confrontational or mean-mouthed or judgmental, you will tell them more about who you are than how you want to be treated. So you have to get some finesse here. You have to do this consciously. Do it thoughtfully. Don't blurt, because that hurts. And if you do it poorly, it won't get you the results you're hoping for. So learn to set good boundaries and do it in ways that are totally kind and totally honest at the same time. So I've talked about one thing. You have a right as an adult to choose where you place yourself and with whom. And now I've talked about you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to be different, to practice skills differently, to respond to people differently. And then number 3, big one, you have a choice. So add your choice to your right and your opportunity. It's your choice how you embrace people as they are and let them be themselves, just like you want them to let you be you, right? So you want to give what you wish you were getting. That's your decision. That's demonstrating who you are. And it's your choice if you let people get under your skin or irritate or upset you without taking some action. Yes, it's your choice. You know, Eleanor Roosevelt said this famous line, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." So you don't give your consent, do you? So don't let what their opinions are, which they're all only opinions, irritate you or upset you or get under your skin and ruin your holidays. Rise above all that and behave from your values and your vision for your life and relationships and your belief. And then you will not give other people power to bother you. I know this one takes real practice, But oh, it's so well worth practicing and so well worth doing and so well worth mastering. So just start. You have a choice how you respond. You have a choice with whom you are. So these next holidays, prepare. Know your values. For example, if you value family, treat them as though you value them. If you value peace and your family dishes up continuous chaos, you might want to limit your participation. You have a choice. You have the right. Know your boundaries. Clarify them to yourself. Practice. Express them to others honestly and kindly. And maintain them persistently. Repeat them often if you need to, and add consequences if it's not working. And then never, never, never have negotiable boundaries. If you've said, this is my boundary, you've said these are the consequences for crossing it, make sure you enact the consequences. So know your boundaries, know your values, and know your limits. If you're clear that some areas of family gatherings are uplifting, and I hope they are, and others are toxic, then choose the uplifting ones and steer clear of toxicity. Know what brings you joy. Follow that path. And joy and happiness are an inside job, and you can find them almost anywhere if you're looking. And yes, with a hijackal, it's particularly difficult because they're going to particularly act up. But as I said earlier, lower your expectations. Just look at them benignly, go, oh, the hijackal is acting up. Don't believe a word they say about you. Don't take on any fault they want to dish you. Just notice the hijackal is in high gear. And when you take back your power in these ways, when you live by your right, by your opportunity and your choice, when you live by your values, your vision, your beliefs, and your purpose, then you can turn your holidays from duty to delight, one way or the other. And you know what? It's an inside job. It's up to you. It's not about those other people. They're just doing them. But you do you, and keep yourself as calm as possible. Enjoy the good moments. Ignore, if you can, the poorer moments. Move away from them. Don't place yourself in those situations on purpose. You know that hijackals work from the position of creating fog, fear, obligation, and guilt. That's what Susan Forward talked about in her book. And you don't want to be in fear, obligation, and guilt. So don't go there this holidays. Look for the joy, look for the love, look for the moments you can create and enjoy peace. And if that means saying no to somebody or no to something, you have a right. Do it. I hope that you have a wonderful holiday. I hope it's better than the last 5 you've had. And I hope that you bring peace with you, you bring love with you, you bring joy with you. And if other people don't want to share in it, then move on. Happy holidays. And you can find me at transformingrelationship.com or on YouTube. My channel is called FOR Relationship Help, HELP. I'm always here for you, and I hope you have a wonderful celebration. I'm so glad you spent this time with me today. I hope you heard something that touched your heart and empowered you to move forward. You can have the life and relationships that you most want, and that begins with you, within you, today. I'm always here for you. Life can get better, and you heard that from me, the Relationship Help Doctor. I'm Rhoberta Shaler, and I work with clients throughout the world through video conferencing. We can talk. So learn more at forrelationshiphelp.com, forrelationshiphelp.com, or visit me on YouTube at For Relationship Help. Join me for next week's show.